Hey everybody, Games here, back again with another video, and today we're going to do my top 5 Ultra Great Swords in Dark Souls 3. If you have a good time, drop a like before you go. If you're new, subscribe. I upload every day. Let's get into this. Number 5 is going to be FUME Ultra Great Sword. Alright, for the FUME Ultra Great Sword, you're going to need 50 strength and 10 dex to wield this bad boy. It is also the heaviest of the Ultra Great Swords, if you guys didn't know. We will put our strength to 50. We have 12 dex. That's just the lowest it's going to be locked at for us. So as you can see, it gets a 571. So with this weapon, if you see diminishing returns on weapons, I like to see diminishing returns. So as you can see, 60 goes from 588. If you go up one more to 59 to 60, you're going to get to 590. And you can see you go to 61. You got to go to 62 to get one more point of, attack rating. But with this weapon, if you put her at 66, two-handed, that's going to be like you have 99. That's going to be top AR for this weapon, which I believe is 674 or something like that. So that's the way we are going to stat this for, the weapon showcase itself. So 66 and then 12, you can set that at 10 if you'd like. Alright, so the FUME Ultra Great Sword, it is the heaviest great sword in the game. As you can see, it's at 25.5. This great sword also, it can be buffed with consumable buffs and or spell buffs. But unfortunately, it cannot be infused. I don't know if that's really a bad thing, since infusions don't really end up being, better than buffs anyway. Also, its stomp will block incoming attacks. You'll still take some stamina damage, but you will be able to block the attack because the sword itself is just so massive. And then also on that aspect of it, it can be used as a shield if you want, but it does not have 100% absorption for damage. So you are going to take some chip damage using that as a shield, but it can be done, if you're kind of in a panic situation, if you will. One good idea to do if you're using this is maybe try to get some regen items on the build that you're using. That way, if you do try to use it for a shield itself, you'll get that health back, whatever chip damage you have taken, while using it as a shield. So the Fugs, the FUME Ultra Great Sword, also deals strike damage, which is actually a good thing because a lot of armor sets do not that well against strike damage. A lot of those don't have such a high tolerance for it. And I believe it deals strike damage because if you can see the weapon itself, and I'm buffed with dark fighting, a dark resistant creature, but if you see the weapon itself, there's really no end on it. It's not really sharp, so you smack them around, with big blunt objects, so you're getting that strike damage as well. When it comes to poise health, the Fugs also has a poise health of 30.8, comparatively to other Ultra Great Swords having 27.3. Also, the weapon itself acts as a great hammer when it comes to that poise. It acts differently than other Ultras, within the class. Alright, so I just want to go over its moveset real quick and a couple neat features, I guess you can call it, when it comes to its weapon art. So when you hit L2 with this weapon, you see you go into Stomp, but because the weapon is the way it is, it acts almost as a shield during that animation. So if someone comes in to attack you to this, you'll take the stamina damage, but you won't take actual damage. You might take a little chip damage again because it doesn't have 100% damage absorption. But for the most part, with the damage you're going to be dealing with this bad boy, you're gonna win out on that trade more than likely. So two-handed moveset, just like the OG Greatsword, you get the front to the back. You get good pokes with the rolling R1. You just gotta be careful because it's super parryable. And then also rolling R2 overhead smash. And then also we can get into the poise stomp just with the normal R1. But again, when you go into that L2 poise stomp, you're throwing out a shield before you throw out your attack. So very useful. Alright, attack rating unbuffed two-handed is going to be 648 because again we have 66 strength, so it's going to double to like it's at 99. We'll throw a buff on her real quick and see where it goes up to. But again, we can't infuse it. It's only buffable, but that's fine. 743 is what we got it up to, and that's without, any other, attack rating buffs, things like that. Alright, so where to find this is right before High Lord Wolnir. There it is. You're going to cut this bridge. When the bridge falls, you're going to take it as a ladder down to the Smoldering Lake. You are going to fight Knight Slayer Torsig underneath the Smoldering Lake. He can be found beyond the areas of the rats and the basilisks, alright? Once you defeat him, you will get this big bad weapon. So this is going to be my number 5 for top Ultra Greatswords. On to number 4. Praise the sun. Alright, number 4 on the list is going to be the Ring Knight paired Greatsword. Alright, stats-wise for the Ring Knight paired Greatswords, my number 4 pick for the Ultra Greatswords. As you can see, we're going to go, it's 40 strength, and it's going to be 15 dexterity. So, put that up to 40, this up to 15. As soon as we go to 15, it's going to jump to 546. So, for this weapon, I like to stat it, as you can see our number's still jumping, at a nice quality 40-40 build, because if you go past these, the returns you get are, you know, unsubstantial. I mean, you could try to 66 this with strength. I guess that will net you a little more AR, but do I think the points are worth it? Not really. I'd rather throw them into maybe Vitality if you're using these, maybe for a strength build or something like that. So, 40-40, that's going to net us. We'll check out the AR in a second. Let's confirm the build. Alrighty, so for my number 4 pick, the Ring Knight paired Greatswords here. Let's see what we have for a AR now. Is going to be 598. Not bad, pretty formidable. So this weapon cannot be buffed or infused. You reinforce it with Twinkling Titanite. One thing that's extremely powerful with this weapon, if you're able to actually catch people with it, is the L1 combo. Takes 3 L1s basically to end somebody, especially if you're fighting at you know, a 120 range. It has great weapon arts within itself, L2 into, you know, chase you down, and then you can also have the other mix-up potential, which is L2 into front foot explosion. If you hit with that, oh boy is it gonna hurt. Alright, for the weapons moveset, why I placed it at number 4, it has great mix-up potential. So anytime you're R1ing, you can throw in the L1, you know, special paired moveset in between. So if you just hit the L1, we all know you get the dash, follow with the spin, do it one more time, you get the pop-up slam down. But if you R1, it will act as the dash instead of doing the dash, you know what I mean? So pretty shabby, not too bad here. See how it fares against these enemies out here. Real powerful weapon here, especially if you have groups. So watch what happens to this guy. You are a formidable warrior! Now we got the whole group. Let's give them smash attack. Oh, big dick. Alrighty, so we're going to find these weapons is in the Rings of the DLC. Right at the Spear of the Church altar, you're going to see a Ring Knight standing right before the boss fight, Spear of the Church. You have to take him down, and then you will get these bad boys. So, this has been my number 4 pick. On to number 3. And next up, number 3 is going to be the ASTORA Ultra Greatsword. Alright, stats for the ASTORA Greatsword are going to be 16 strength, 18 dex. So we'll put that there, and then right now I have it refined, so it's going to get beat scaling in both of those, so it's going to be equal across the board. 30 and 30, still going to get returns, I think so. We'll just go 40 and 40 on here if we can. That would be nice. So yeah, 40 and 40, that's the way I have it refined. I believe you're going to do the same thing, even if you just run it, you know, unrefined. And we will see what our AR comes out to. Alrighty, so for my top 5 number 3 pick, so is the ASTORA Greatsword. This can be infused and buffed. You can do both to it. You reinforce it with Titanite. It is the lightest Ultra Greatsword that we have in a game at 8 for a weight. The weight is really comparable to a normal Greatsword. Also, it's one of the best weapons if you want to go with infusions because it's such low requirements and it gets pretty high scaling too. So it starts to differ from other Greatswords when it comes to its moveset. Let's check out the AR real quick. We got 563 for an AR. Throw a buff on here. It's going to jump to 658. So if you do the weapon art with this weapon, you get the charge. Now, one thing obviously we all know, you got to be very careful about charging if you're PvPing, especially because you will get parried. You know, as soon as they see that, they're going to get ready to parry. But if you're, you know, fighting these type of enemies who can't parry, very nice. And also, I believe the R1 will combo into that too. We like to charge them up, but, you know, very good damage for a weapon that's only weighs 8. And again, 16 and 18 for requirements. are very, very easy on your points, man. You saw, you know, our number 5 pick, the Fugs there. You need 50 strength. And a lot of people like to go 66. That way you just get the 99 on the 2-hand. So, the ASTORA is very nice. Very. Alrighty, so where to find this? From the Cleansing Chapel in the Cathedral of the Deep. You're just gonna follow me this way. Don't mind us. Pass all these guys, don't worry about their shenanigans. We don't want to get into any shenanigans, we just want to get right to the weapon. I'm gonna come over here. Left, right, left. Bang another left, and it's gonna be right here on this corpse here. So this is number 3 pick, the ASTORA Greatsword. Ultra Greatsword, shall I say. And next up on the list, we have number 2, the OG Ultra Greatsword. Alright, for my number 2 pick, stats-wise, you just want to go 40 and 40 really on a quality build here. We got the AR up to 607, unless you're going for some sort of, you know, infusion or whatever you want to do. But for stats, 40-40. Alrighty, so the OG Ultra, we all know it as Dragon Slayer, the Gut Sword. This thing kind of acts the same way as the FUME, has the same moveset, other than it does not have the rolling poke. It can be infused, it can be buffed, it's reinforced with Titanite. Alright, so looking at attack rating unbuffed at 610, that's dual-handed, but we are also, you know, we could have gone heavy infusion with strength. And I think that's the way you want to go for max damage. Right now we are quality build. Throw a buff on here, see what it jumps up to. 705, not too bad. Let's go test out this bad boy on these slugs. Daddy's home! Bang. Oh, it didn't one-shot him. I thought it would have. Okay. Just gotta give him the charged. 903. Very nice. This thing hits extremely hard, as you can tell. And then you also get the hit behind you, which helps in mobs and or if someone, you know, tries to go roll by you backwards. It's very, very, very sneaky, tricky weapon. This weapon's also the longest greatsword in the game, and fun fact, if you look, it is called Greatsword, but if you look right below, it is an Ultra Greatsword, so, you know, FromSoft kind of trolling us on that one, I don't know. Alright, I'll show you where to find it, and then we'll on to our number 1 pick for Ultra Greatsword. Alrighty, where to find this bad boy? From the Swamp Bonfire, you run straight, take a right, you're going to see these 2 broken bridges right here, come up this one, and there you go, Greatsword. Shalom! And now for the number 1 Ultra Greatsword in Dark Souls 3. It's going to be the Lothric Knight Greatsword. The highest damaging, most AR you can get. Let's take a look. And for my number 1 pick, the Lothric Knight Ultra Greatsword. Your best physical damage you're going to get from this are sharp or refined infusion. Right now it's not infused with anything. So we're just going to put it up at 40 and 40 for this one as well, and we'll see what that gets us for AR. Alrighty, so this bad boy can be buff and infused, even though it has the natural occurring lightning damage in it. You reinforce it with Titanite, and you can bring it to a Blessed Infusion, which will give you great scaling for Faith. Get your Faith up to 60, and actually, you know, at a decent enough level, you can be like Caster Master. So, for AR, we got 660. That's not buffed or anything. Let's go ahead and throw the Gold Pine Resin on there. Looking at 755 now. Let's go test it out on these slugs here. This weapon, you can get the highest damage in the game from the Ultras. This is the one that's going to do it. As you can see, almost 700 damage per smack. This thing is a beast. So for the weapon arts, you get the lunge forward pancake. It's one of my favorite ultras. I love flying people up in the air like that. Because we're getting puked on by all the blood maggots. So are they all dead? And they're all dead. Alright, so as you can see, very quick tip about the damage. So at max level, I know there's not all of us to do it, but this weapon will provide the highest AR in the game with a dark infusion to it. But again, that's at max level, and we're about to die. Let me drink some of this stuff. Alright, well, I'll show you where to find this. Well, actually, we're not going to show you where to find it because this is a rare drop that drops off LOTHRIC Knights. So basically, if you have the Twin Princes dead, you can just run down from that bonfire, and there's a knight there you can try to farm for the weapon. And it's a rare drop, so, you know, throw your Helm of Everest on and eat some coins, and you'll be good to go. So this is my #1 pick, guys, the LOTHRIC Knight. And yeah, so what's your top 5 Ultra Greatswords? I'm curious to hear in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. I upload every day, and we will see you on the next one. Enjoy your day.